arrow is able to be accessed on the other side. We have 3 people with that storm moving, and Master Lodi is closing in on a pinch there. So, I mean, that arrow really changes because you get the bio down, we get the verb right there, and from there you get Master Lodi doing his best warrior impression, as I said, but King Teddy picks up the win, and I believe it's going to stay at the top of the qualifier right now. I'm still tallying up the scores. As I finish that up, we'll get it up on this screen. Morbid, thank you for that breakdown.
Absolutely. I love analyzing fights like this.
Right, and as I said, we are going. This is the final game of the Best of Warrior qualifier. After this, we are going to hop into the Ranger qualifier. This is not the updated score. This is the score after game number 1, as we saw Pink Teddy up on top. I believe that score is staying the same. I will have the updated score up momentarily.
Teddy, of course, taking a negative penalty in Game 2 for killing the host in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
The bomb had it perfectly set up. You didn't have to help. Anyways, game number 3 is finally starting. Let's hope everybody manages to get the loot that they want. General going in for a hot drop into Sector 7 station. Seems to be a nice spread of the competitors again, as a couple of people have dropped next to each other into Collapse Expressway. Let's hop over there, see what the action is about. No. So they have opted to...
Let's get this underway.
They have opted to land on opposite sides of the playing field from each other, and everybody taking a nice spread to get this first round of loot. The Puppet, however, choosing a different modus operandi, as he makes his way in steadily closer to Creator. He already has a nice domineering position by landing on top of the spire there and getting a free chest off of that. Jumps down and is trying to find his way to a little bit more loot. Perhaps relocating himself around to get the flank on Creator. As Creator is holed up inside of this building, just now sneaked out of the back window to go and find some more loot.
Monsters.
Meanwhile, down in Support Pillar, we can swap over to Cosma's view, who is a new entry into Game 3 here. Pleasant to see him here. PH Premia and Cosma are very close to each other, and I think Cosma is hot on his heels at the moment as he is closing the distance with a bloodthirsty look in his eye, opening fire on PH Premium as he takes huge damage from that MP5. He can't have too many potions already at this early start of the game, and Cosma popping up right in front of him to take an early lead, taking Premium out of the competition in Support Pillar. Meanwhile, hopping over to the Collapse Expressway again as Joe Bursky and Master Lodi are straying ever closer to each other. Joe Bursky stopping by the upgrade station to temper his sword, rushing ever closer to Master Lodi as both of them have finally picked each other up on their radar. Master Lodi trying to retreat away from this situation. Joe Bursky passing by a gravity. The high ground. He's probably going to use this to his advantage for his advanced gunplay. A blind interrupting his vision from Joe Bursky. Beautiful mastery of placement. Master Lodi runs off onto the wall instead, using a blizzard to cover his tracks. Joe Bursky throws a thunder down to cover his own, coming around to flank Lodi on the wall, but that smoke screen is still blocking enough vision that they can't engage just yet. Now they are able to. This is a much more comfortable range for Lodi to take this engagement. This is the range that he was looking for before in the final fight. Joe Bursky opening up the Shinra Type B assault rifle. Lodi taking huge damage and dropping to critical levels as Joe Bursky attempts to rush in to finish off the kill. He can't quite get that line of sight though as Master Lodi runs around to the other side of the wall, but because he has already jumped down, he doesn't have an easy way to pick it up. Pick up the pace. Get close to him as Lodi pops back off with full health. Coming into a closer engagement now as Joe Bursky lays down a thunder to flush Master Lodi out of cover, taking huge damage in response as Master Lodi empties a clip into his chest. Lodi ever closer to take advantage of this health loss, not managing to find Joe Bursky. He climbs up and above. Joe Bursky dropping a masterful thunder, Lodi and sneaking away with the kill though, and driving himself out of the thunder using the melee chain. Beautiful mastery of the melee combo in this going.
Yeah, he learned about it in the last one.
He's gotten a little bit of practice in now. He got the shakes off. Meanwhile, Karma XO has started to sound somebody legit vocals as he rams his Jeep into the building. An interesting strategy. There he goes, driving off and away. I wouldn't want to deal with legit vocals this early in the game either. He is very dangerous with the sword in his hand. But Legit Vocals isn't going to want to give up the chase too easy as he hops on his
Good.
bike as Karma drives off and away, hitting heedlessly past actually dropping himself off to go and combat a bomb. Legit Vocals opting to drive off the other direction instead of chasing him. Meanwhile, DePuppet has picked up a kill. Fortunately, did not see who he managed to kill. Let's hop on over to his view as he loots up his reward.
Let's go.
Ooh, I see in his hands a gold combat rifle. That is my personal favorite weapon on the battles at Midgar. Once you get used to the recoil, it's really easy to handle at long ranges. Of course, you can say the same about any gun, though.
I've come to find that on touch, it definitely makes a difference.
Yes. Ren McKeary, on the other hand, in an entertainment district, coming across an interesting situation. Pink Teddy taking General off in the distance. Ren McKeary's activated Punisher and jumped back on his Chocobo to try and rotate around into Legit Vocals, hopping off his Chocobo, letting his Chocobo fall into the gravity and trigger it away as Legit Vocals hops on the roof and away. Ren McKeary jumps on his Chocobo and drives it rides it, out of the gravity and chases him up onto the roof. But if he hops off, all Legit Vocals needs to do is jump onto it and ride away. But a beautiful dismount by Ren McKeary taking his Chocobo out of the equation. But Legit Vocals is playing the roofs masterfully to try and lure Ren into an unfavorable situation away from his Chocobo. Speaking of away from his Chocobo, there it goes. And that was a nice placement before to avoid it being stolen, but instead Legit Vocals opts to kill it. And Ren McKeary hops in a Jeep and starts driving away. Legit Vocals pushes through the blind to tell you a little bit of damage as Ren McKeary drives away, striking his vehicle, but not managing to do much more than that. In the meantime, why do I hear sniper fire? Perhaps I'm imagining it. 17, 13, 6, and 5. Let's check in with Black Shadow, who is another new name to me in this Best of Best series. The Lethal Gaze in his hand. He is fairly close by to DePuppet inside of the vault. Let's see if he manages to get everything his hopes and dreams asked for. This is certainly an event that I'd like to wish upon a star for. There's nothing but a legendary shotgun inside of the Bahamut chest. It seems somebody else opened the vault and DePuppet just gets the pick of the leftovers. Black Shadow taken down by Master Lodi in the meantime. I didn't even notice he's on his way over here. Apparently caught Black Shadow off guard as well. Perhaps running him over. That might have been a very unfortunate happenstance for him if that was the case. North of Corneo's mansion, Seal Noir is locked in a deep combat with somebody else. Perched on top of his Chocobo, he sees Legit Vocals pass by and unaware, and he takes a little bit of distance shots, punishing Sparkles down to about half health or so. Legit Vocals can't take too much more damage on her without losing the Chocobo, and the cure ensues potential from that, as he decides to ignore the gunfire to his tail and just ride away. Ludo-kun, however, getting closer and closer to somebody else as he's chasing down Karma XO. Karma XO just finishing off a Hedgehog Pie. Ludo hops off to try and take down a combat, but Karma opts to just ride away instead. Not taking too many engagements in this round, I've noticed.
Yeah, as we see, we have a Master Lodi putting down 3 kills already. He's coming to it with a different approach this time, a little more aggressive with that Warrior Melee.
It's a pleasure to see that too. I think he was he took that last loss a little bit harsh, and proving that he knows what he's doing with his warrior wannabe-ness.
Oh.
What was it you had said before?
His best impression of a...
That's what it was. Ludo-kun hopping off his Chocobo once again and takes some fire at Karma, punishing his Chocobo just a little bit as Karma takes a bullet to the back. Choco Guard reducing that damage by 30%. Laying some fire into Ludo-kun's Chocobo, and down it goes. Ludo-kun losing his cover out in the distance, but deciding to pin a Cerulean Drake to the ground to get a little bit more experience before taking this fight with Karma. Using this opportunity to take some free damage to Ludo-kun. Interesting strategy for this, just trying to farm directly in front of a competitor's scope. Away he goes, and he's really feeling the heart loss of his Chocobo now as he finally breaks line of sight away from Karma XO. Cosma picking up Seal Noir. Zytera nearby, seeing all of this carnage happening, and Ludokun is pinned behind the wall. Zytera starting to make her way ever closer to that as in comes a fire, almost managing to hit Ludokun. Karma XO pushing in from the other side. Ludokun is stuck in a bad situation as an Inferno Cannon fires up. Zytera rotating away from this engagement. I guess she doesn't like where this situation is. Rin Mikiri not too far away as he comes driving in onto the scene. Ginny knocked off of his bike in the process. Glad I got to see that. In the distance, Yinvan and Cosmo getting close to each other.
We want to take a quick moment here while we have this little bit of spread out action. We do have the updated scores here. I just want to touch on it before we get too heavy here. Pink Teddy's still in the lead. Scene Noir is still in second. Massalodi in third. The Puppet in fourth. Legit Vocals is now in fifth.
That's right.
Updated scores are on the screen. Go ahead, Morbido. Take it away.
Speaking of legit vocals, he just missed Sparkles after jumping in next to Karma, who's been pinned behind this rock the whole time. Both of them rushing towards each other. Karma actually rushing away, but managing to land a beautiful fireball, launching legit vocals closer to him. He needs to pull out his sword in this instance, and instead he pulls out a giant laser. Legit vocals taking a little bit of damage in return, but Survivor's spoils, taking him back above 2/3 health as he takes down Karma.
Yeah, we see the Infernal Cannon come out again. That's the second game in a row. But this time, Legit Vocals able to get in close, and you know, the laser has a very slow pivot, so being able to get in close and work those warrior attacks around it was very key there.
Ludokun was able to dismiss his Chocobo, so he keeps his mobility. Legit Vocals bringing Sparkles back on the field as Rin Mikiri opens fire. The Sparkles runs away one more time. Legit Vocals closes the distance with a double dash mechanic. Rin Mikiri activating the Punisher and hitting Vocals with a huge fire to the face, and a dash from that Punisher melee finishes him off. But in comes another fireball from as Ludokun drives back in. Rin Mikiri in a couple of nice shots, but Cosma picking up the kill as he comes charging in from over the mountain. Rin Mikiri going into the building to try and lure Cosma in as Punisher takes down.
Opportunistic kills happening here.
Oh, Cosma spots him out through the window. Rin Mikiri can't get around quick enough as he comes outside of the building. Punisher has worn away now. It is going to be a long cooldown before that comes back. Cosma throws a fire through the smoke, attempting to land some free damage. Rin Mikiri utilizing the blind to keep himself safe. And he's going to try to delay this fight as long as possible to get his skill back off of cooldown. They are exchanging some gunfire from roof to ground, though, as Cosmo lays a little bit more damage into him. Rin Mikiri is going to want to try and get away from the situation soon, I'm sure. So he summons his Chocobo and starts riding away. Actually, he decides to jump on top of a nearby roof instead as Cosmo loots up this body. He jumps off and dismisses his Chocobo now that he's up on the superior roof and the superior height advantage, opening fire once again. Now that the roles have been changed, almost managing to land a fire as Cosmo ducks behind the buzz to get some nice limited cover from that. A shotgun shell managing to narrowly missing Cosmo as Cloud makes his reappearance onto the battlefield. Meanwhile, Master Lodi and Zytera have started to engage each other on the other side of the map. Cosmo and Rin Mikiri. Rin Mikiri pokes out of the window to launch a little bit more gunfire, doing a little bit more damage. Cosmo just walks around the side of the building to limit his options, and Rin Mikiri needs to either charge in fast or keep this long, drawn-out firefight as more people start to rotate. Actually, nobody's around this way, so they're perfectly safe. But on the other side, Zytera does take down Master Lodi.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That is a big kill. He was our kill leader, and now he's down. Zytera picking up the kill. They're moving higher into the rankings. That is quite a shakeup.
She might not be a warrior main, but she is a monk main, and as a monk main, I know she gets into plenty of melee combat with a warrior. Rin Mikiri and Cosma dancing through the wall with each other, trying to tell him, like, I'm not really interested in taking this fight right now. Could you just please leave me alone? Cosma coming over to that window.
Still. As soon as that
waiting on that Punisher.
I think he's gonna take it.
Cosma needs to watch his timing though, because that's not gonna, it's gonna come off a cooldown pretty soon. I think he realizes that though as Cosmo starts to rotate and leave the situation. Rin Mikiri running in front of the building. Does he notice Cosmo leaving up the hill here? I don't think so, but in the distance we see Yinvan on his way in on his patented neon bike. Stopping nearby as Cosmo spots out Rin Mikiri as he goes to get his Chocobo, landing some nice sniper gunfire, and down goes the Chocobo. Ren Mikiri forced back into the building that he tried to escape from by Cosma's deadly aim. Ren Mikiri is out in the open. Cosma is at a very domineering position, out of range of that Punisher melee. More comfortable range for his sniper fire. Ren Mikiri uses a blind to try and hide his advance over the side of the mountain. Just retreat from this engagement, taking some huge fire in return, almost going down as he hops down over the side of the mountain. Cosma in hot pursuit.
Yeah, no, so Cosma is going to be one of those people who I know is going to be the exception to the rule because Cosma is very good at the guns, so he can make any class pretty viable, and I am very excited to see him showing, you know, just that Warrior is going to be a little bit of everything, especially in this game. Like, all playstyles work on almost every single class, so you're able to customize as like this. So we see someone who's really good on guns capitalizing in this Warrior tournament here.
Ren Mikiri doing a great job using blind to keep himself covered, and yeah, we're seeing a nice diverse usage of Punisher and Rush, but Punisher's long cooldown is very, very harsh for Mikiri to deal with as he gets the free supply drop route. Hopefully he gets everything that he's been hoping for, as he's been on the back foot for some of these fights for some time now. Zytera has managed to locate Pink Teddy on the way in, and she has a Cyclops roar!
Let's keep up the pace.
This just got a lot more dramatic as she has a nice shot with that Cyclops roar. Pink Teddy holed up behind a rock nearby as Zytera attempts to get the angle and to get another kill to her name.
She already has one, and as we see, you know, 1 to 2 kills can get you into the top 5 and qualify for the grand final. So
that's all it takes.
These strategies are here, and we're down to the top 4 already.
Pink Teddy is content to hide behind this rock, though, as Ren Mikiri slowly makes his way this direction. Zytera practicing her jump flips in the meantime, dismissing her chocobo as she needs to be comfortable up here, but this is a bad spot to dismiss your chocobo as she's as far away from the zone as she could be right now. She has a minute to make her way over there. But Pink Teddy starts driving away, and the dismissal of Zytera's chocobo ends up coming up to no fruition, as she's stuck in a situation where there's nobody around here and she's dismissed her only transportation. The map has spread out just a little bit. Let's check in with the end on and see how he's been doing here. He is... No. Really?
I checked on him a second ago, and yeah, that's what he's doing.
I was wondering why he's been stuck in this building. Oh.
The strategy's right there. Yanvon with these strategies. That's Yanvon's warrior strategy right there. The bike. I bet you he has arrow.
Time for a ride.
Let me switch to him. Let's see what he has for spells.
I bet his plan is going to be to drive right out this door. And
yeah, he has all his spells ready too. He's ready to go. He's going to run somebody over inside this building.
That is incredible.
Bold strategies.
It's a bold strategy. Ren Mikiri getting targeted by Bahamut. Zytera on the way and resummoned her chocobo. Ren got another supply drop, so he has all the loot in the world right now as Zytera comes tearing in on the chocobo. Ren Mikiri hiding inside of this warehouse and waiting for Zytera to come and pick her way in. It's on top of the safety. Zytera jumped over to the other roof and attempting to try and locate him, which is difficult with the ranger and him not moving around at all. It's a very smart call to not try and investigate the interior of these buildings, as Ren Mikiri is surely aimed at this hole with a fireball waiting at his trigger finger. Indeed he is. He is aiming directly between those doors, waiting for Zytera to try right through. But off she goes, makes it way safe, and then comes back out.
And it's very interesting to see how this final circle is going here. We had a few more people in the final circle last time, so now in this side circle last time. So we got a little bit slower going into this, and the players are really deciding on how they want to take these fights.
Everyone's trying to get to their comfortable engagement rounds as Zytera and Pink Teddy start drifting closer to each other. Has Zytera realized that Pink Teddy's up here? Teddy definitely hears the chocobo by now. This is a very vulnerable position for you to be caught out in, Pink Teddy. You got to get back on your chocobo. Up he goes, and off he starts riding to rotate away from what could have been a precarious situation. Zytera seems to be very content dancing on top of the mountains, though, as Weegraph finally drives out of his building. Here he comes! He has chosen now to make his appearance as that neon bike streaks across the street. Ren Mikiri dumping behind the wall to get out of the way. Pink Teddy taking his trademark approach to these conflicts as Ren Mikiri opens fire on Vigraf. Zaitera is content to stay up on top of the mountain with the Cyclops roar in hand. Pink Teddy rides a little bit closer. Is Vigraf inside the building once more?
He is back inside another building.
He is back inside of the
But he has someone
building.
on the roof this time. This could get interesting.
Ren Mikiri is going to try and make an approach on this.
He's off the bike, but he can't open the door because the bike blocked it. He has to go around the other door.
Instead, he has
The
climbed
fight's
up to the
coming
second story. Ren Mikiri taking aim at Pink Teddy as he hides behind the pile of rubble. Zaitera, in the meantime, surely taking advantage. And actually, I don't think she's noticed any of this action going on. Ren Mikiri dancing on the roof above Vigraf in there. I'm sure he's taking his time and dancing down here with him. Can I sneak in here? Thank you. Hiding inside of the deepest, darkest corner. Playing with his materia marbles on the floor. Yes, he is just dancing with Ren on top of the roof there. He's taking some more fire. Who's he aiming at? He has found Zaitera on top of the hill, who has opened fire with the Cyclops roar. Let's hop over to her vision and see if she can hit any nice shots from such a distance. She is getting pressured off of this mountain, though, so she can't stay up here for too long. Ren Mikiri slinks back behind cover, and the stalemate continues. Wait, did her bird must have gone down then if she opted to rush down off of the hill. Rotating back inside of the military complex, Ren Mikiri has left the building literally as he's hopped off and has started making his way over to Pink Teddy, hiding behind some rubble to make sure that Yinvan isn't trying to shoot him up the tail. Pink Teddy taking a look at that supply drop that Ren Mikiri has already looted, hopping back on Bumbleblue and trying to ride away, taking his time to make sure he can keep himself safe from Ren Mikiri's purposeful aim.
Let's crank it up.
He is pressured to the outside of the zone, though, and in another minute he's going to be forced into a dangerous situation. Will Ren Mikiri take this up onto his advantage and try to keep him pressured in the corner here? It's going to be a little bit difficult to do that on top of a Chocobo, though. I have the feeling that Yinvan's trying to get his bike working again inside of there. We'll leave that as a surprise for later, I think. Pink Teddy has successfully avoided any more aggro being done his direction as Yinvan and Ren Mikiri take position inside of the zone. Zaitera and Pink Teddy on the outskirts looking to make their way into safety, but there is nothing but open field between Ren Mikiri and these two competitors. Once they leave the open safety cover, or the safety of cover, they're going to be under a lot of fire from Mikiri. As soon as Yinvan starts to hear the action, he's going to poke out of the window and try to take some shots himself.
Yeah, there's not much cover in this final circle here, in this first final circle. There's just that one building, so everybody's going to have to work their way into the open and use these rocks as much as they can to keep cover.
Pink Teddy has a little bit of an easier time with the lower elevation. And on top of a Chocobo, Zaitera opting to rotate around the building. Ren Mikiri unfortunately losing his advantage on top of the rock and not covering Zaitera's entrance. This is the second time that has happened with him. Zaitera making her way closer to Yinvan, though, as he's hiding inside of the corner, choosing not to peek out at that moment, taking his time in this final engagement. Zaitera pushes in closer to Ren Mikiri, who pulls out the shotgun, shooting the mountain in front of him as Zaitera tries to push his way closer, nailing a huge fire in the face! That was incredible. Zaitera pushes her way up on top of the mountain and tries to take a quick Cyclops roar shot, but unfortunately misses and nearly hits herself with that equally beautiful fire. Pink Teddy making his entrance into the field as she takes another damage from a fire. Ren Mikiri activating that Punisher to come in and finish her off, not managing to land that last hit. Thunder comes down and forces Ren Mikiri away and to use that blind to secure himself some safety as Pink Teddy makes his way in. Yinvan hiding off in the shadows as Ren Mikiri chases down Zaitera once more, landing a huge attack. Pink Teddy trying to pick off the kill with a fire, but Ren Mikiri sneaks away with a beautiful fire of himself. That gravity hidden inside of the blind could end up being deadly as Ren Mikiri takes position back up on top of the rock. Pink Teddy hiding around underneath there. And Yinvan taking his time inside of the building.
Ren securing that kill was huge. Oh, there's the gravity, but Teddy was not looking when it happened.
Again, I think that was a purposeful trigger of that gravity as Pink Teddy tries to launch a shot into there, not realizing that it actually came to fruition. Mikiri has taken some amazing opportunities to trigger these gravity traps when the opposition isn't looking at him. But he is getting closer to Yinvan. Will he take advantage of this position? Still No, he's hiding in the shadows. Oh, here he comes. Now that the zone has forced him outside of the building, he hops out of the window. Ren Mikiri has already located him on the other side of the rock and sees him. V-Graph uses that Punisher, comes around the side of it. The blind keeps him from being able to lock on with that dash. V-Graph points around the other side of the rock. Pink Teddy getting caught on the other side inside of the Mako. Teleport has already been used, so it cannot be used to save him again. Spell's almost managing to take his life as everybody rushes into safety. Yenvan inside of the building. Teddy in a precarious position opens fire with the laser, but the blinds from Ren Mikiri is interrupting everyone from being able to finish him off. As they both rotate around the sides of the mountain here, Renjon moves his bike out of the way so that he can finally open that door when he wants to come back out of that building. Pink Teddy and Ren coming in closer. That Punisher cooldown is going to come off soon. There it goes. He has activated it as he comes to coming closer. Out drives Yinvan. He manages to get his bike out. Pink Teddy teleporting away. Mikiri teleporting in after him, but missing with the Punisher melee. Both of them teleporting back through as the gravity unfortunately misses. Teddy taking huge damage from that melee. He can't teleport back through. He's going to get stuck in his own gravity. Mikiri does not take advantage of that to open fire and finish off Teddy. He got lucky there. He comes around to hide behind this rock as Yenvan is taking his time, letting everybody else do the dirty work while he sits on full health and potions and ammo.
I'm like dying laughing. That's why I'm not commentating, because I'm laughing at Yenvan nonstop.
He decided to come into this to troll his little heart out. And out he pops. He has a Cyclops roar himself and must have picked it up off of Zytera's body a little bit ago. Unfortunately missing with it. Trying to lay fire against Teddy and Rikiri as they are distracted with each other. That teleport! Where did that take him?
Right in front of Yenvan.
Oh, in front of Yenvan into the zone. But thankfully, Yenvan get out of that nasty situation. The Punisher is on cooldown once again. Getting trapped in the gravity inside of the Mako. V-Graph is going to go down and Teddy can land his shots. Down he goes! Teddy landing a beautiful gravity. Ren Mikiri opened fire with one last Cyclops War shot. Unfortunately, not managing to land that kill. Swapping back to the sword. Trying to get whatever he can from that box as he must have ran out of material or resources by now. Teddy's swinging his sword wildly to try and get those last few hits. But he just eats a huge fire as a punishment for so many melee attacks. That Punisher comes back. Speaking of Punisher, it comes back off of cooldown as Teddy lands a few more hits. Down goes the Warrior Dash from the Kiri. One more potion for Teddy's name is Kiri is in hot pursuit. All Teddy has to do is rush away if he wants to get to a more comfortable distance, though, as the distance is indeed increased between them once more. Down, away he goes to rush. Pink Teddy immediately turns around to attack, but Kiri has only about 8 health left, and down comes the dash. Teddy slicing through the competition. Switching back to the laser to finish Mikiri off inside of the revival ring.
And Pink Teddy goes 3 for 3 in the Best of Warrior qualifier. Really coming out here and making a statement as the top warrior in this qualifier. Unbelievable.
That was an incredible game from start to finish as everybody was dueling with each other for dominant position and to poke out those potions and ammunition. Yenvan doing whatever Yenvan was doing, driving his motorcycle into buildings for the amusement of thousands. And by thousands, I mean 45.
It's still, like, Yenvan went for a strategy there. He stayed until it was the final 3, tried to pop out for a couple of kills, and get the win. It's definitely a good strategy. Unfortunately, does not pay off as he gets caught in the gravity.
Amazingly sound strategy that Teddy used to his advantage to be able to loot all of his resources back off of Yenvan's body. Mikiri took too long to try and get in there and grab those potions. I think Teddy was able to grab them all, hoard them all for himself, and then lure him into a beautiful situation where he could get the turnaround on that.